Welcome back to the channel. Today I am super excited about this one. This is the 2023 Jeep Wagoneer L. It is 12 inches longer than the normal Wagoneer, and let me tell you something, it is a dream to drive. It is luxurious, it is refined, the ride out on the highway is just insane, and wait till you see how much cargo room and storage room there is inside this thing. 3 rows of seats, 8 people capacity. It is just unbelievable. And the Wagoneer name, of course, is a legendary name in the Jeep family. Back in 1963 is when the Wagoneer was introduced, and it was reintroduced in 2021. It is just an absolute dream to drive. It's a little bit top heavy and tall, but the road presence is just unbeatable. Look how high the hood is. Jeep lovers have not had a huge SUV like this since the Commander went out in 2010, I believe. That was the last year the Commander was offered. You have not had a big SUV like this that competes with the Expedition, the Yukon, the Tahoe, the Suburban. This really combines perfectly luxury and off-road capability and hauls anything you want. So I'll give you a full review today of this 2023 Jeep Wagoneer L. This is not the Grand Wagoneer, by the way. That is still a step up both in price and in luxurious appointments and amenities. This is just the Wagoneer L. Be sure to subscribe to the channel below and like us here on YouTube, and also follow us over on Instagram at Overdrive Reviews. All right, not another word here. Let's dive into this 2023 Jeep Wagoneer L. So obviously the first thing you notice is just how large this thing is. Whenever you check out the side profile, look at this. It is huge, 1 foot longer than the standard Wagoneer, and that 1 foot is made up from 7 inches on the wheelbase, 7 inches longer in the wheelbase, and 5 inches more overhang. So 5 inches more overhang in the back means your storage and cargo area is just insane. It is so large. It was already pretty big. It's even larger now. Let's back up from this angle here. I love the color on this thing. A nice graphite kind of gray. You do have running boards here on this Wagoneer. That is an option. Not everyone has that. But you can imagine just how much off-road fun you could have in this with this thing beefed up with the adjustable air suspension if you opt up for that. Big wheels here on the Wagoneer L. The classic Jeep symbol here with the flag flying the correct direction on the passenger side of the vehicle. This is how it's supposed to look. You do have these glossy black covers here on the side view mirrors with the built-in side indicators, the turn signals for you. You do have roof rack here with some chrome trim up top, and one of the largest rear windows I've ever seen. It looks like something that you'd find on a house or whatever. It's a huge window. Massive tires here as well. The perfect car for kind of long road trips. Comfortable, tons of room for people, all their things, pets even. Just a winner, I think, here from Jeep. Let's get to the front here and talk about the front of the Wagoneer. Gotta love that classic Jeep grille. It is there, it is large, it is in charge. Of course, you've got the Wagoneer name emblazoned right across the front. I love that. Let's go down here to the full performance LED. They're called Jeep Performance LED lights, and they are bright, they are beautiful. Let me tell you something, they just demand your attention out on the road. Down here you have your built-in integrated parking sensors along with the front crash mitigation system. Tons of standard safety features on this vehicle, things like pedestrian and cyclist detection, front crash mitigation, lane keep assist, all the safety features you would want. You do have more of your LED lights here, and the fog lights, a nice grille. It actually feels really sturdy. For it being plastic, it actually feels quite nice. It doesn't feel cheap and doesn't move all that much, and I'm giving it some force here, but it really stays in place. Nice. I love the chrome grille here. The classic Jeep ovals up front are there, and Jeep always incorporates this perfectly in all of their vehicles. And there are more options than just L or not L. There are different trim levels, 7 different trim levels actually, that you can choose from. This is what's called the Series 2. There's Series 1, Series 2, Series 3, and then a premium option of each of those series. So Series 1 Premium, Series 2 Premium, that sort of thing. This particular Wagoneer is a Series 2L, which actually means it has the upgraded engine. The base engine in this is only available on the Series 1. It is a V8 engine. This right here, the Series 2 and above, they all get a twin turbo inline 6-cylinder, and we'll dive into those in just a second up in the front. But this right here, the Series 2 Wagoneer L, just look how large that rear piece of glasses. It is massive, and it actually harkens back to the old Wagoneer. It looks so classic, but you know, modernized all at the same time. Jeep did a great job with this, and I do think is giving Ford and Chevy customers who are used to those big Suburbans and big Expeditions a real big run for their money. More LED lights back here, of course, all around, tons of lights, tons of ways to be seen if the presence of the car isn't enough. It is just a beautiful vehicle from every angle. Just a single exhaust, which is kind of surprising. Not a dual exhaust here, but the engine sounds great, gives a nice growl, but an extra foot all built into this L version. It is just a looker no matter what angle you are at. Those 7 trim levels, by the way, start around $64,000 and climb up all the way to $79,000 for the Series 3 Premium. There is also an option called the Carbide option, and that adds things like blacked out wheels, blacked out grille. It's really an appearance package, the Carbide option. All right, so enough about the appearance and me gawking at how pretty this thing is and how commanding its presence is. Let's get under the hood to see what kind of power this thing is packing. Oh, just a massive engine. Okay, so here is the twin turbo inline 6-cylinder on the Jeep Wagoneer. 420 horsepower, 486 pound-feet of torque. And again, this is the upgraded engine. The efficiency as far as the miles per gallon is actually not all that bad. It's not nearly as bad as you would think for this massive vehicle. 16 city, 22 highway on the all-wheel drive option. If you get the rear-wheel drive, which is standard by the way, the rear-wheel drive efficiency is about 17 city, 23 highway. So you only lose about a mile or so if you upgrade to an all-wheel drive system. And speaking of all-wheel drive, there are 3 different all-wheel drive systems you can choose from on your Wagoneer, depending on what you kind of want. This one here does have all-wheel drive. And like I said before, Jeep is huge on their heritage. You can see right here, designed in Auburn Hills, Michigan, built in Warren, Michigan, born in America. They are huge on their heritage and remind you in little teeny ways like that of what you're driving. I really kind of like it. They're very, very proud, as they should be. Let's talk about the base engine. If you opt in for the base engine on the Series 1 only, again, only on the Series 1 base model, that is a 5.7 liter V8 cranking out 390 some horsepower and just over 400 pound-feet of torque. So not nearly as powerful. There's no twin turbo on that one, obviously, just a standard thirsty V8, classic kind of V8. It's kind of amazing too that now we're in 2023 that the V6, or the inline 6 rather, is the upgraded option because of the turbo. This engine is mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, really shifts smoothly for being such a large vehicle. No big clunkiness so far. All right, let's hop into the rear of this and check out the cargo space. There is a ton of it. So cargo room is probably pretty important if you opt up for the Wagoneer L. So let's open this thing up and reveal all of this space. 42 cubic feet of space behind the third row. That is the third row, not the second row. 42 cubic feet of space. If you opt for the normal size Wagoneer, you still have 27 cubic feet of space behind the third row. It is just an enormous amount of room. And the good news is that third row is power folding up and down. So you can put them down and back up without having to manually do anything. The second row will also go down automatically, but you do have to manually pull them back up. You can do both rows, by the way, right back here. Just push these buttons one at a time and they will all go down. And in a matter of seconds, you will have a totally flat rear Wagoneer that I feel like a small car could fit in here. You could fit like a little Mirage or a smart car or something in here. It is huge. And while we're talking about the seats, let's go over here and I'll show you on the side. There is another option for putting those third row seats back up. You can do so by pushing those buttons right there on the driver's side, and then there's also buttons over there on the passenger side right there. So anyone can put these seats up from any position, it seems like. Jeep giving you lots of options. If you push those buttons, the rear third row goes right back to where it was. Mom and Dad don't have to jump into the back and squeeze around things or people or struggle and put it up manually. Nope, there are power options all over for you, making it much easier to do. The second row, like I said, goes down by itself, power, but you do have to manually put these back into place. There is a button, by the way, to get this out of the way whenever you want to get into the third row. Push this and the whole thing just moves forward by itself. You do, of course, manually have to put it back in place though. And while we're talking about seats here, you can opt up for captain's chairs in the second row, and that gives you seating for 7 instead of 8. But I love captain's chairs, and I can only imagine how pretty and comfortable they would be here in the second row if this vehicle had it. But that is an upgrade that does not come standard. Here in the rear seat, very comfortable leather. Leather is standard, by the way, upholstery in all different models and different trims, no matter which one of the Wagoneer you get. Really, really comfortable seats here. You do have a large center cup holder. Down here in the center console, you do have controls for air, for heat. You do have two USB-Cs and two USBs, different outlets. You've got a 12-volt outlet as well. A 9-speaker Alpine studio sound system is standard. You can upgrade to, I think, a 19-speaker Macintosh system, which probably sounds ungodly good. This Alpine sounds just fine enough for me for a car like this. You're not buying this car to really romp around in and really bang down the street. It has enough bass for what it is. So you also have locking and unlocking options here on each side door with auto up and down windows. That's really nice. Up and down auto windows on every single door, which is really cool. And I love the kind of gray ash type of coloring that they've given the door decorations. Really nice faux wood right here. The leatherette trim feels good as well. Coming together to kind of give this a really nice natural look, but also a refined look. It doesn't really say Jeep to me, which I think is kind of the point. They want this car to be luxurious and refined and comfortable. These seats are very easy to maneuver and use up and down like this. You can also use that instead of the power option I showed you earlier, but they do go totally flat, which is really cool. The whole set of seats goes totally flat, so tons of room for boxes and different things like that if you're going to be storing anything. And I don't know if you can see it, but back there are also more USB and USB-C chargers, so you can charge like 15 phones at once, it feels like, in this thing. Tons and tons of ports. You do have lights right here as well, built in for every passenger to have on their side. They're on every single window. The back seat, really the place to be to relax and chill out on the open road. All right, let's hop up front and see what's up there. Alrighty, so in the front of this luxurious beast, tons and tons of amenities. A really nice sounding door as well. It closes nicely, and Jeep right away, right there in the center. Let's start her up here. Push button, very easy to find. There you are. Little ding upon startup. I love the steering wheel, by the way, with the open right here. You can grip it anywhere you want. Endless options for gripping this steering wheel, which, by the way, is heated and feels incredible. Right here is how you turn that on. I had it on a moment ago for about 5 minutes. And different levels, by the way, too, since we're talking about this. Different levels, just keep tapping it and it'll go down depending on what level you wanted to have it set at. But right above that as well, you do have your heated and ventilated seats, which feel incredible on chilly days like this. And what I find really cool is also, in addition to like just the heated option overall, is you can do what zone. You can do like just your top, just your bottom, or both at the same time, which is a great option here. Okay, so this large center screen is a 10.1 inch center screen, and is pretty much standard on every single Wagoneer. You can opt up for another screen that would be right there on the dash for the passenger. It's a 10.3 inch screen. So screens everywhere in this car if you opt up for them, of course. So this screen is very easy to use. It's very touch friendly. It is precise. Everything that you would normally want and understand and have in a car is here in this Uconnect system. You can do your phone settings, navigation as well. Under vehicle is what I really enjoy. You can dim your mirrors, which is always important, and you can check your rear view camera anytime you want. Just push it right there and it'll pop right on up. Also in the vehicle setting here in the center screen, you can put down the headrests automatically from the front of the car in case they're blocking your vision in your mirror or anything like that. So just push this button right here and the second row headrests go down, which is great. You can also do the third row headrests if those happen to be up. All right, so down below here, you've got all kinds of glossy black trim and really nice feeling buttons and different things that are at your fingertips. Here are the different drive modes for you: sport, snow, sand, and mud. And auto is what I keep it in. But whenever you do change it, it does also change up here and gives you a fun different graphic to coordinate with that setting. So down here, this button feels incredible. It feels super rich, super refined, really nice high-end materials everywhere. Speaking of nice materials, right here, different buttons for different things. These are all haptic technology, so they kind of vibrate whenever you touch them. Turn off the auto stop and start at red lights. You've got your lane keep assist, you've got traction control and everything else, so on and so forth. But these are really great. They kind of respond with a nice little vibration vibration whenever you touch them. Behind this big door here, which feels nice, it does not feel cheap, doesn't feel chintzy, feels well made. You do have your wireless charging pad down here and a deep little cavern for all kinds of little objects and storage. So nice option there for hiding things that might be valuable. You do have your big center wheel here to select your gear, and it feels really nice. Some of these car companies that make these, they put them over here. They kind of don't fit where your hand might naturally fall. Jeep did a nice job putting this right in the center. And surrounding all of it, by the way, too, is this really nice wood trim. This ashy kind of gray trim is really growing on me as I kind of drive this car more and more today. Center cup holders here for you as well. Someone's glasses in this rental, but that's okay. Deep cup holders too, so that whenever you have a tall glass or a tall cup, they don't tip over. But whenever you close it, it's a soft close too, and it feels nice. It really is a nice job by Jeep, kind of amping up the luxury here in the car. And also here in the center, you have this massive armrest, one for each passenger up front, the driver here, passenger here, and the biggest well that I think I've ever seen in a car. It goes down forever. Tons of storage down here as well. Jeep making sure you've got lots of places to put things and keep them safe. But this also right here is a trap door, kind of a hidden door to store more things, more chargers for you as well. Endless chargers everywhere in this car. I keep saying it, but they are all over the place. The dash overall is really nicely designed. I think Jeep did a lot of really good thinking and designing and talking to get this thing looking luxurious. Jeep and luxury do not go together, but they've done a really nice job in this reintroduced Wagoneer, really giving you that refined, cruiser, relaxed lifestyle feel. Nice job. Everything from the wood insert trim here on this really big, massive steering wheel to the wood trim here on the dash. And even this little detailed push button here is more than just a button. There was some thought put into this, and I think Jeep designers should be applauded. This is really cushiony type of plastic up here. It doesn't feel cheap. It doesn't feel chintzy. It doesn't get marked up easily by fingers or any kind of dust. It is a large dash, as you can imagine. Nothing about this car is small. Let's talk about this 10.3-inch display. The digital gauge display is in every single Wagoneer, and right here I have it set to show my music. You can set it to whatever you want. Just by pushing this button right here, you can then select, do you want to have your music? Do you want to have your navigation? Do you want to have your driver assist features? You can look at, for whatever reason, your tire pressure. You can also go to what I normally keep it on when I'm driving, the different instruments and readouts for your miles per gallon and your total trip and everything like that. Of course, off in the corner, you do keep your tachometer and your speedometer and your speed and everything still to go. But different customization options here in this 10.3-inch display. Cruise control things over here, along with safety features. You can even gear select down here if you'd like, when you're going down a hill and trying to maybe keep the car from going too fast in snow or something like that. On the rear of this, let's see if I can get a shot of it, you do have the buttons for the volume on this side, and on the other side, you do have buttons to change your feature, to change your source of entertainment from AM to FM or Bluetooth, anything like that. And you do have kind of unique design for changing your mirrors here on the side. They're totally changeable, as most cars are these days, but I love the way that they did this. Usually it's a big dial, a big chunk of plastic, and it looks kind of clunky and weird. Nice job by the designers on that as well. And down here, you can also change the pedal position. If it's too far away, too close, you can adjust it right there. And these seats, by the way, are 12-way adjustable leather seats. 12-way adjustable seats. Super bolstered, really comfortable. I can see how a long trip in this car is just insanely comfortable and relaxing. The seats, again, heated and ventilated. Massive vanity mirrors as well. Really bright lights. Check out your face, all sorts of things. You do have the rear spy on the kids mirror, as I call it, right there, mainly to make sure that your rear passengers are behaving, but also you can store glasses in there as well if you'd like. One little Easter egg I noticed, look at the circulation of the air button. Usually that's just a car, even on SUVs. Nope, Jeep said we're gonna make it an actual Wagoneer. God, they're good. In all, a super rich, well-appointed interior. I love the front of this thing. I really have no complaints other than maybe some of these buttons could be in a different position or something like that. But overall, tons of amenities. I really kind of wish this one had the second screen for the passenger so I could show you what that looks like to have like 30 inches of screen all over the front dash. But in all, the design of this is just so well done. Really put some thought into this. You can tell the designers were like, you know what, we're not just going to introduce a classic legendary name and put no resources or do it kind of half. They're doing it the whole way. All right, enough from me. Let's get this thing out on the road. We are out on the road in the 2023 Wagoneer. Let me tell you something. This thing is uber quiet for as large as it is. Even when you gun the engine, it sounds incredible, and there's really no interior noise. I mean, I kind of wish I heard more of the engine. It sounds so good. That twin turbo, 420 horsepower, really just pulling this thing anywhere you send it. It is just amazing. And Jeep built this to be a refined experience. The suspension is softly tuned, the tons of sound deadening materials. It really is a comfortable, kind of really laid back ride. I'm really surprised. I think if you blind tested everyone and said, you know, what kind of car are you driving without, you know, any kind of emblem showing, you'd have no idea that it was a Jeep. It really is a surprising thing for a company that is just not used to making refined vehicles. This feels soft and airy and floaty over bumps and, you know, imperfections and potholes in the road. It really is incredible. There is some top-heavy problems whenever you're going around a corner, maybe faster than you should be. You're not going to be zipping through curves fast in this car at all, but that is not to say it is not still a joy to drive. You can more than enough keep up in traffic as far as merging or passing somebody. The power of this twin-turbo inline six-cylinder is just amazing. Having this much car to control and operate, I gotta say, is actually not nearly as intimidating as I thought it might be. I was expecting this to be kind of over the top and just really intimidating and overwhelming. It's not. You've got these large side mirrors, a big rear pane of glass that really makes visibility just an ease, and a huge windshield, obviously. And plus, you're up high, so there's tons of visibility in this thing. You ride higher than everybody around you, pretty much, unless you know an 18-wheeler is next to you. The twin turbo really just kicks into gear right away. You don't really have to even mash on it. It really wants to go as soon as your foot hits the pedal. And when you gotta slow down too, the brakes on this grip extremely quickly. I mean, I'm telling you something, I really have never felt a large SUV grip the way these brakes do, so you have no problem stopping. As I'm driving this thing around, it reminds me of the Lincoln Navigator extended version, the L of Lincoln Navigators that I tested years ago in this video here. This is just as long, just as, you know, fast. That also had a twin turbo V6, I believe, though. The Lincoln, a little more luxurious, a little more, you know, I think amenity heavy than this. But again, this is a Jeep. These things aren't meant to be luxurious. Lincolns are. And the safety features I mentioned before make this thing even more desirable for families. You've got your lane keep assist and your adaptive cruise control, front crash mitigation, pedestrian cyclist detection, all sorts of things come standard on this. Plus, you can opt up for the 360 degree camera. This thing is just packed with endless options. One of those options, by the way, too, is a big panoramic sunroof. This does not have it, but it is an option that you can opt up to. Let's give it a little gas here and see what she sounds like. Ready? Oh, that's fun. Oh my God, it's so smooth. Oh, it shifts effortlessly. That is incredible. I was going up a little bit of an incline there too, and this thing just took off. I'm sure with 8 people in the car, maybe their bags, it wouldn't be as quick, but it's just, there's something so cool about a big hunk of metal just being able to fly down the road and instantly kind of get going where you tell it to go. I know I love electric vehicles, but there is also something to be said about the power and the sound of an inline 6-cylinder twin turbo engine, just really making this thing march down the road in such prowling presence. Oh, incredible. Getting onto the highway here, I'm just really amazed at how quiet this thing is at all speeds. I mean, low speeds, you don't feel the bumps or hear the bumps. High speeds, you don't really hear the wind. You can barely even hear the great growl of the engine. I would love to hear it more. I wouldn't mind that at all. This thing just has such a refined and quiet interior that I'm really shocked by. So families looking for a lot of cargo room, a lot of space for people and their things, this is absolutely a top contender. If you want something even fancier than this, remember the Grand Wagoneer is also an option. That's even more adorned with luxury and amenities and fancy stuff. That's of course obviously more expensive. It starts at like $89,000 or something. So a lot more money, but you do get a lot more car. Again, the price of this starts around $69,000, goes up to about $79,000. Depending on what series 1, 2, 3 or premium you end up choosing. I'm so happy I got to test this today. A huge shout out to the folks at Kramer Middletown in Middletown, Pennsylvania. They loaned me this car for the day. They have a rental division, a car sales division. They've got short-term leases as well. You basically lease a car for 4 or 5 months. That way you don't have a 3-year commitment. They have tons of electric vehicles, tons of gas cars as well. There's more in the description below of this video. And with that, I think we are all done. Thank you so much for watching. That is it for this review of this 2023 Jeep Wagoneer Series 2 with the twin turbo inline 6-cylinder engine. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure you're subscribed to the channel below and also follow us on Instagram at Overdrive Reviews. Give this video a big thumbs up if you found it useful and helpful, and if it made you decide to check one of these things out, let me know in the comments below. That is it for now. We'll catch you on the next one.